We're staying in our ground floor plan underscore rev2.dwg file. And as you can see, I've left it in the same place as it was at the end of the last video. We're going to do a little bit of housekeeping first, and then we're going to take a look at points and donuts in AutoCAD. Now, don't get too excited. You don't need to order in coffee for the AutoCAD donuts. They are a geometric shape, not actually donuts that you can eat. But what we're going to do, we're going to move our octagonal table first. Just click on it. You'll see it go blue with the grips. Right-click on the mouse and select Move on the contextual shortcut menu. Click on Move. I'm going to pick this corner here, that endpoint snap there. Left-click. And as you can see, I can move it now. Pop it over here somewhere. Left-click again. So it's just underneath the rectangular table. Now, the reason I'm doing that is we're going to put some bike bays in the landscaped area so that people can cycle to work. So we're going to create a couple of new layers first before we look at the AutoCAD points command. So we go to layer properties, like so, and we click on new. So that's that little one here. Can you see the little star on it? Little yellow star, new layer. Now the first new layer is going to be called bike bays, like so. And we're going to give it the color magenta. So click where it says white. And magenta is down here. There you go. Color 6, that one there. And you'll see the color come up as magenta. Click on OK. So there's bike bays. We're going to create another new layer now. And this time it will be bike bays. So make sure you type it correctly. And then a dash. And then SO for setting out. And then points, like so. So we've got bike bays and bike bay dash SO points. Press enter to confirm. You'll notice it takes on board the same color as the previous layer you created. So we need to make the bike bays SO points the current drafting layer. If you just select it and it's highlighted like that, you can click on the little green tick there. Bike bays SO points is now the current layer. Close the layer properties manager. We now need to go and choose a point style. Now the quickest way to do this is to go to the Home tab on the ribbon, up to the Utilities panel and select Point Style. It's just there on the drop down. And it'll open up the Point Style dialog box. Now, if you look, the default point style is a tiny little dot. You're not going to notice that in a hurry. We're going to select this one here. Can you see that one there? Circle with a diagonal cross through it. That is actually the same symbol that you use for the node object snap, which we're going to utilize in a minute when we're placing our bike bays. Now, the point size, we're going to make that 5% set size relative to screen. You don't want it to be absolute units. You want it size relative to screen, so it's always 5% of the screen size. I'll explain that when we've placed the points. I'm going to click on OK now, so that point style is now set. We're now going to go to the Draw panel, click on the flyout here, and just pin it open. It's easier, saves it going back into the ribbon all the time. And you want this little icon here. Multiple points. 4 little dots, it looks like. As you can see, multiple points in the little tool tab that pops up. It shows you contour lines. That's something that you might use points for. I'm going to click on multiple points and come into the drawing area. Now, I can specify where I want a point to go, and I can place individual points if I want to. Now, wouldn't it be lovely, though, if I could divide a line into an exact number and use points? Well, you can. Hit escape a couple of times. You'll notice next to points, you've got here, divide and measure. So if you go to divide now, it places evenly spaced point objects along the length or perimeter of an object. So if I click on divide instead, it asks me to select the object I want to divide. It's going to be this line here. Click on it. Number of segments, I'm going to go for 10. Press enter to confirm. And there's our points. Notice they're using the point style that we've just set. Now, you'll notice the command is closed as well. Now, if I zoom out, notice they get smaller. If I do a regen by typing REGEN and press enter, they resize to 5% of the screen size each time. Now, if I zoom back in again, they're a bit big. So what I can do is regen again. You can also save the drawing. That regenerates the drawing as well. And there you go, back to 5% of screen size again. So what we'll do now, we'll go to our layer drop down, and select Bike Bays as the current drafting layer. Just click on Bike Bays. And then we're going to draw a line. So we'll click on a line here like so. And we need that node snap. You notice we're not snapping to node right now. So down to your object snaps. Flyout pops up. Select node. We can turn it off again in a minute. Node is now on. Go and click in the drawing area once, not twice. Otherwise you'll draw the line in the wrong place. Click on the node. There's the node snap. Drag that outwards like so. And you want to drag that out by 3 meters. So that's going to be 3,000 millimeters. Press enter. Enter again to finish. And then what we can do now is we can copy these down to each point. So we select the line, right click, copy selection, use the node snap or the endpoint of that line. And because node is switched on, I can just keep clicking. Just copies away quite happily down to each node because the node snap is on. When you're done, press enter to finish. And then go down to your object snaps and make sure that you turn node off again. Otherwise, you'll be snapping to nodes all over the place. Now, the nodes are quite obvious in the drawing. Now, what we want to do there is we want to turn those points off. So, Bike Bays is the current drafting layer at the minute. So, if we just go to the drop down and Bike Bays SO points, if we click on the little sun symbol, that'll freeze that layer. Click back in the drawing, you see the setting out points have gone. If I want them to come back, I can just click on the snowflake and they come back again. Like so. So ideally you want those setting out points frozen, like so. There you go, job done. That's your setting out for your bike bays using the points in AutoCAD. Now I'm just going to hit escape a couple of times, make sure we haven't got anything running. Double click on the wheel to zoom extents. Now we're just going to use layer 0, the default layer. So click on the drop down here, scroll all the way up, slide up there to 0. There's layer 0. And just pan and zoom all the way down to this bottom corner of the building. Now you'll notice we've got a grid that intersects just there. We're going to place a setting out point there on layer 0. Now, obviously we can change this later, put it on a different layer, but the donut command is there on the draw panel that we've pinned out. Click on donut, it asks for the inside diameter of the donut. Now I'm going to make that 250, like so, and press enter. And the outside diameter, I'm going to make 500 and press enter. There's my donut. I'm going to pop that there on that intersection of the grid lines. That's my setting out point. Press enter to confirm, and there's my donut. Notice there you don't need any coffee. It's a geometric shape. It's not an edible object. So that's your setting out point using the donut command.